So today I want to talk about websites and in particular how your websites should look moving forward, not just 2018 but 2019 and the future of websites for hospitality businesses. Doesn't matter whether it's a hotel, doesn't matter whether it is a guest house or a rental. I've been doing a lot of research over the past couple of months and the last year and working with a lot of people to find out the way that everything is going. And we've taken in results from analytics, we've taken in results from surveys, and we've looked at the way that the current booking trends are going. And this is a really important video that I want everybody to watch, because if you want to increase your direct bookings, or if you want to increase your direct bookings at the same level that they currently are, and you don't want Booking.com or the OTAs to take over, then it all begins and ends with your website. Now, you may be thinking, well, I've never had to rely on my website before. People have just come to me, or people are booking via my website anyway. And the answer to that is 5 or 10 years ago, when people were just walking through your door. You didn't even have to advertise anywhere. And back then you were thinking, well, I didn't have to do any advertising. Now you're saying, I'm having to advertise, but I don't know how, and I feel like I'm catching up. If you don't act on this now, then in 5 to 10 years' time, you'll be saying, I wish, my website isn't working and I need to get bookings from it. Now, there's different levels of people, as in like where their website is at, that are watching this video. You may update your website on a yearly basis, as in change the layout, the pictures, the text, etc. There may be those who do it once every couple of years. There may be people watching this who have only updated it once. And I come across so many people and so many websites that fall into so many different categories. And it's the ones that have still got the old templated design where you've got a massive border on the outside, because 5 years ago that is what everybody said you needed, a border on the outside, keep all the text in the middle. But technology and phones and tablets have all gone crazy over the last few years, and the results and the stats and the surveys that I've come across and the way that it's pointing moving forward is that less and less people are going to be using this to make a booking, and more people are going to be using tablets and mobile phones. How do we know this? Because we've studied bookings and booking rates over the last few years, and whereas in the past people visiting your website maybe 70% desktop and 30% mobile, that's now flipped and it's 70% mobile and 30% desktop. Now each individual page will show you each individual results. This is over a group of between 100 and 1,000 different properties overall over the world and over several different categories, so hotel, guest house, rental properties. Now for you, you've got the ability now to go onto your Google Analytics and see for yourself. Now if you've not got Google Analytics, I recommend everybody does. Purely and simply, if you don't know how people are interacting with your website and how people are finding your website, how do you know on how to improve, and how do you know on where to list your website? It's really, really key. It begins and ends with your website, but it also begins and ends with analytics. So my main thing that I want you to think about before I go into explain how a website should look is that everything that I teach you is to increase your direct bookings through different marketing strategies. Now, those strategies may be Facebook, it may be through email marketing, it may be through Google Business Listing, Google Ads, Facebook ads. But it doesn't mean anything if your website on your homepage is out of date and doesn't work. I always say to people, you've got to make sure that your website and your place, that the first touch point that they come to you is just like walking through your door for the first time. If it's tidy and clear and clean and nice and bright, and it's easy for people to navigate, then they're going to get off to a good foot, and they're going to have a great first impression of you and your property and your business. If they arrive through your front door and it's messy, it's confusion, people don't know where to go, then they're going to have a bad first impression. Now, when it comes to your website, if they have a bad first impression, they leave. They click off and they go back to where they come from. And it's a bit of a cutthroat world at the moment. As soon as they leave, they're not coming back. So that's why you've got to make sure that within 5 seconds of someone being on your property, being on your website, they know exactly what your property is all about, and they know how to make a booking. And this is what I want to show you, and this is why I'm going to show you the future of hospitality websites. So you're going to get a head start on everyone else, because in 3 to 4 to 5 years time, when other people are playing catch up, you're going to be the one that's increasing their direct bookings. So the first things first, well, what I want you to do is I want to make sure that your current setup is working. And I want you to make sure that you know how to check if your current setup is working. Number one, if you've got a booking engine, for example, Free to Book, Super Control, Avivo, Little Hotelier, the Booking Factory, any booking engine or property management system, go to there and check your booking reports. Every single one of them has booking analytics, and they will be able to tell you exactly how many bookings are coming via your website, because at the end of the day, you want someone to land on your homepage and click to your property reservation system. If your bookings via your website this year or in the last 3 to 6 months are down compared to what they were this time last year, then you've got to do something about it. Now, there's some people watching this who are thinking, well, I get loads of bookings from my website, I can track it. But what I would like for you to do is to watch this video and just to make sure that your website is doing all of these key things. If it is, great. You can just keep on doing this, because this is what websites need to be doing. If they're not, and your website doesn't look like this, but you still think you're getting bookings from your website, then just make the changes. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, my website A isn't doing this, I don't know if my website designer can help me to do this, or I need someone to help me do this, then get in touch with me at the end of watching this video, because like I sent out a post a couple of weeks ago, and it's something that I'm starting to do now, is that moving forward, I want to make sure that I help as many hospitality owners as possible. As you know, my goal this year is to help 1,000 hospitality owners. Since starting up Boostly and since starting this training site, I've never got involved with websites, but now I am. I've been able to learn what needs to be done. I know what needs to be done, and I want to show you, and I want to help anybody who needs that next step. So if you want to take this and take your website and turn it into what I'm talking about, then get in touch with me afterwards, and I'll be able to walk you through how we do this. So first things first, go check your booking engine. Secondly, go check Google Analytics. Now, if you find that people are staying on your website for less than 1 to 2 minutes, then that means that as it is at the moment, right now, what they're doing is they're coming onto your website and they're leaving. So we want to make sure that people stay as long as possible, and the ultimate goal is to get them to click on the Book Now button to get to our reservation system. Now, as you can see, we use Free to Book. Secondly, what you're going to do is you're going to go to a website called search.google.com and test mobile friendly. So if you just go into Google, mobile friendly, test Google, put your website in, and it will tell you if it is mobile friendly. So that's the first thing you want to do. Secondly, you want to go to a website called tools.pingdom.com. Again, that's tools.pingdom.com, which is highlighted there. Input your website. Where it says test from, you've got all these different locations. Just go to the one that's nearest to you and click start test. Now, you want to make sure that that load time is less than 7 seconds max. Under 5 seconds is ideal. Why is that? Well, like I said from the start, you've got between 5 and 7 seconds from someone loading up your website for you to be able to tell them exactly what your property is all about. Now, as a generation and as a group of people, we have now got an attention span of less than 5 seconds. That means we've got an attention span which is less than a goldfish. So we have to, as quickly as possible, grab a potential customer's attention, and we have to make them stay on our website. One of the biggest reasons why people leave websites, doesn't matter whether it's hospitality or any type of website, is that it takes too long to load. And when something takes too long to load, they give up and they go back to Google search, and guess what? They're not going to come back to your website. So run those 2 checks to make sure that your website is correct. If it's if it's more than 7 seconds, then you really need to sort out your website. If that's the case, get in contact and I'll help you with some simple tips and tricks that you can do or pass on to your website designer to do. So let's go onto the layout. What's really important here is a couple of things. So number one, I'll go back to that in a second. When the website first loads, the old school templated design where you've got the big border on the outside, that's going. Okay, what's now you need is a full screen with nice images. So just like I mentioned, for any listing site you've got to be on, the first 5 images is what sells your properties. So have a scrolling image, nice, light, bright images, and again, something that tells the person who is looking is exactly what your property is all about. Now, this is my family business. This is the granary. It's a farm stay property. Not only do we have the views, we've got animals, we've got tea rooms, etc., etc. So that's what we've tried to get across there. Now, you may have noticed when I flicked over to this a second ago, there's a pop-up. Now, one of the major things that we've noticed when doing our research is that pop-ups are key. Now, why are they key? When somebody arrives on your website, like I said, the majority of people who are coming on are from your marketing efforts. So it could be work that you're doing in Google, it could be work that you're doing on TripAdvisor or Facebook, it could be email marketing, you name it. When the majority of people that are coming to your website when they're arriving on there, they have seen the good work that you're doing, or they've been told about you. So a guest that has come to stay with you in the past has gone home, told their friends and family or work colleagues about you, and then they're going to go and check it out because they're thinking, you know what, I'd love to go and stay there. Word of mouth is an amazing tool when it comes to marketing, and it always will be. Now, the problem is Booking.com, Expedia, and the likes, Hostel World and everybody else, their big marketing tool is that they tell the potential guest that they get the best rates when they book with them. So, as you know, we do these book direct campaigns where we try and re-educate our customers. The problem is that so many people don't get it, and they still don't get it. They don't understand. So you got to try and tell them as quickly as possible. Now, if you're putting that message in here, it can go missing. It can look a little bit disruptive. It can just not look nice. At the end of the day, you want your website to look nice, but you want to get them to the booking page, as we've already mentioned. Now, one of the easiest ways around that is a pop-up. Now, there's so many different ways of creating a pop-up. If you've got a website designer, he should be able to do it, or she should be able to do it for you really, really simply. But the benefit of it is that when someone lands on your website, this will come up. Now, I know that pop-ups get a bad rep and they are sometimes annoying, but if done right, they are so, so effective. We have this image come up and I'm able to delay it for 7 seconds after someone's arrived on our website. Now, why 7 seconds? Because like I said, if anybody stays on your website for after 7 seconds, it means they're invested. It means they want to know more about you, and they're pretty close to booking. Okay? So I have this timer, not when someone first arrives on the website, it comes in 7 seconds after. So at this point, I'm not going to be speaking to people who are just clicking on and clicking off just for the fun of it. I want to speak to the people that are engaged, are invested, and are really wanting to book. This comes up and it clearly states what happens. 10% off your room booking, exclusive discount when you book with us. The little hashtag is in there, or we've got the phone number so they can call. Now, if a guest simply clicks around it, it disappears. If they click on it, it takes them to here. If they put the dates in, and it, like I say, it does exactly what they want. They put the dates in and they put the promo code into our booking engine. And then they get the money off. So as you can see, I picked a date in July. We're fully booked in the B&B, but we've got the cottages here so they can get their discount. Okay, so that's what's really, really important. One of the things that we've discovered is the websites that have a pop-up are the ones that get more people to click through to the booking engine. Again, I will state this time and time again. You don't want people to stay here forever. Okay, sales and these sort of tactics that we're using, you want to give them the information, yes, but you need to push them along to the booking page as soon as possible. Now, another thing that we've discovered, and again, this is going to be key for mobile, is one-page vertical websites are the future. Now, what's a one-page vertical website, I hear you ask? Well, as you can see, the website at the moment looks like any other. You've got the menu options at the top, but if I click on them, instead of loading to another page, it just takes them down. So this whole page here on the granary is a one-page website, but it's a vertical website. So all the information is just on one page. Now, you may be thinking, why is this key? Well, it goes back to mobile. And again, if your website has got lots of different menus, and when you click on a menu button, it has to load up. We've already gone through it. Attention span is getting less and less. So you have to make sure that your website doesn't take a long time to load. And by doing this, there's no load time at all. All it does is just move people down. So if they want to scroll and read through your whole story and your whole journey, they can do. If they want to go straight to tea rooms, or they want to go to the farm, or if they want to look at our reviews, they can do. I'll come back to reviews in a second. Okay, so this is what one-page vertical website means. It may sound fancy, but it's not. It just means that everything's on one page, but people can easily get from one stage to the other without having the page having to load. And again, when they do come down here, the wording's in. It's got nice images that they can see more. It tells them everything about us. All right. Now, let's circle back to reviews. As you can see, what is scrolling across here are our latest Facebook reviews, our latest Google reviews, and our latest TripAdvisor reviews. Now, what I've been able to do is I've been able to work with a company called Repurso. And basically what they do is they repurpose our content on our own website. So it's a little plugin that we use. Now, the beauty of it is that it pulls in the latest reviews, but I'm just filtering every 4 or 5 star review to show up here. So there won't be any danger of a 1-star review showing up and it's slating us. You know, it will only show the 4 and 5 star reviews, which is key because one of the main reasons after load times people are leaving websites, and again, going back to Google, is that all the information looks great, but it's missing that social proof. And if you've watched my booking process video, you'll know that social proof is a big part of why people make a booking. And social proof falls under reviews. So they want to see reviews and they want to see real reviews. So what I've done, and I think it's really important, is that after your little blurb about you, you put in what guests are thinking about you. And this is latest reviews. So these are ones that have come in over the last few days and weeks. All right. Now, if the guest wants to see more, they click on reviews and it's pulling in 9. Now, I could have expanded that to 15 to 20, but I think 9 is about right. And again, lots of stars, real reviews from real people. And again, this isn't just me copy and pasting it, because copy and paste reviews, a lot of people assume that they're just fake or a friend's done it. Like I say, these are real reviews, and if they were to click on this button here, it will actually take them to their actual review that they've left on the channels that they're using. Okay, so again, one of the biggest reasons why our direct bookings were low before we changed our website up, I believe, was on 2 things: the pop-up and the reviews. We weren't having enough reviews on our website, real-time reviews, and the pop-up wasn't in there. And I believe that our load speeds were slow. Okay, so to combat all of that, you need a vertical 1-page website, you need a pop-up, and you also need reviews. And finally, as you can see, when this first image first popped up, so think back to when you first saw it, what's the thing that stood out to you? It was the book now button, because it's in a box and it's different from everything else. Like I say, we want to make people click on this button as soon as possible. The top right hand corner of any website is the key. It's why Tesco and Amazon and eBay, they have their shopping cart checkout buttons in the top right. I don't know the psychological aspects around it, but the top right hand corner of every website is what's called the buy-in zone. It's where you need to make sure it stands out from the rest. And like I've said from the start, we want people to get to our book now page and our booking engine as soon as possible. So that's why you create a button which is different color from everything else and make it stand out. So right now you can see here, book now. If they want to contact us, they click on there, it comes in all our details. But if they click on the book now button, it goes straight to there. And you may have noticed as you're scrolling down, so even though this is a vertical 1-page website, we've added in little click to action buttons along the way. So this is where you can start to look at how a website should look. And then I want you to go look at yours. If it doesn't cover any of these bases, then you need to get in touch with me, or you need to get in touch with your website designer. Like I said, if your website designer can't do it, or you need someone to help, then get in touch. Now, who is this going to be ideal for? If you've currently got a website with Promote My Place, or if you use a Vivo's website, or if you're currently using a templated platform where it's £50 or £40 a month or something like that, where it's a low cost, then you need to be thinking about upgrading to something like this. For example, this website right here would cost around about £850, which in a rental or a hotel or a B&B, if you just get 2 bookings or 3 bookings from your website on the back of a new one, then that's a return of investment. So this is where you got to start to think. If you're needing to get more bookings, if your bookings are slow, if you used to get a lot of bookings from your website but you aren't no more, if you're getting fed up at the amount of guests or returning guests that are booking via the OTAs instead of coming to you, then you need to be looking at getting a new website. The recommendation, just for everybody wondering, once every 2 years, that's the recommendations for a new website. And I don't just mean adding new pictures, I mean a new website to keep it with the current demands. If you've got any questions, if you've got anything that you want to ask me, please get in touch via email, mark@boostly.co.uk, or you can just send me a message on Facebook. All right, thanks for watching. I hope this has made sense. I would love for you all to get in touch with me afterwards. Let me know what your website is loading up at. I want you to let me know if it's mobile friendly. And one final thing. This is how, if you want to have a quick shortcut to see how your website looks on a mobile, all you've got to do is grab the bottom right of a screen and then make it smaller. So as you can see here, this is what our website looks on mobile. Now you may be wondering what these are. These are just little, what we've noticed on a mobile phone. So if you go to thegrainery.co.uk on a mobile phone, you'll notice that there's little boxes at the bottom here. we want people to be calling us or getting in touch as soon as possible. All right. So on a mobile, we have these options so they can just click it with the thumb. It's a nice little option which works really, really well. And that's what the little plugin down there does. So people can go to our Facebook page, they can find us on a map, they can email us, or they can call us directly. All right, I'll leave it there. If you've got any questions, please let me know.